Hi guys, welcome to another video. So just at the end of the year I fell for the mechanical keyboard hype, or let's say marketing. I was just craving for one for a long time, and I thought the holiday season is a good time to get one. I didn't get much discounts. Here in India the prices are really through the roof. It's around $180 India retail price, but very steep. But it's one of the better mechanical keyboards out there. There are some available from Razer and some from Red Dragon and a few other manufacturers, but this seems to be the most durable, stable. I've seen a lot of reviewers saying that this is fantastic. So let me just get into the unboxing and talk briefly about what this keyboard can do. So before we get into the keyboard, just look at the corner here. This says this is a linear mechanical key. So basically these are the red keys. So yeah, I didn't have a choice of choosing which keys I'll get as part of the keyboard, so I had to go with whatever is available. But I think in other regions you have an option of brown, blue and red. So the brown ones are great for gaming, I guess, because what I read through the Logitech website is that the brown keys have a very specific actuation point. So basically when I press the keys, it goes down and you can actually feel the specific point in the key travel where the button gets pressed. So that's great if you're trying to do half trigger and fire somebody in a game. I don't know, I'm not much of a gamer, but I think that gives you much more precise control. But for productivity, I think red should be great because these are smooth and they make I think they make more or less the same noise, but on the website you can check out some of the sample sounds that they have uploaded of the different keys. I didn't feel much of a difference, but I guess there is a subtle difference, but nothing much to talk about. So that's it. So this is the linear red keys MX Mechanical Mini, and what I'm going to do now is do an unboxing and start talking about what are the features we get with this fancy pants keyboard. So here it is. So basically the keyboard comes with the Logi Bolt receiver, which basically can be plugged into your laptop or any device, and it also supports low energy Bluetooth. So you can see this is just plain paper wrap. I like this idea. So it's just simple paper wrap because the keyboard is fairly durable and a little more environment friendly because the paper is just throw away. So this is the keyboard. It's got a an aluminum base, so it feels pretty solid. I don't feel any flex. I mean, I'm trying to bend it. I don't feel any flex. The keys are pretty good. I'll give you a sound sample with a close-up in a minute, and it's nice actually. This is the color tones are also nice, and it is also backlit. So I'll give you a demo of the background keys, but it actually feels good. Yeah, it's got enough key travel. I was worried that the low profile keys may not give me enough key travel when I'm typing, but seems good. And the other thing that I was a little hesitant about was the flatness of the keyboard. So if you look at the keys, it's basically flat, so it doesn't give you curvatures to match your fingers. So you can see that this whole edge is flat, but if you take a standard keyboard, you'll have a gentle curve here, so that gives you much better ergonomics when you're typing a lot. But I think that is okay. I can bear with that. But it occupies much less space, low profile, backlit, Bluetooth support, and a Logi Bolt receiver. So I wish they had included the receiver in the keyboard itself. Maybe they could have given us a slot to just plug it in somewhere, because I'm going to lose it for sure. So this is a very specific Logi Bolt receiver. You can't use your previous unifying receivers that you had with other MX Master products, but I read on the website that you can use this with your MX Master 3 mouse as well. So this can be used as a unifying receiver for both your the keyboard and the MX Master mouse. So that's pretty neat. The box itself doesn't have much, very basic. That's it. I think the warranty manuals are in here. I don't know how many people read through that, but there is some material, and a charging cable. It's a standard USB to Type-C cable. You can just plug it into your laptop or any charging device that you have. So that's it. It's a pretty simple keyboard. Now I'll just try to bring up this keyboard. Let me turn it on. There's a green power button. At least you know that it's powered on. The battery is supposed to last for 15 days with the backlight on, and a whopping 10 months if you actually take it all the way to I mean, if you turn off the backlight, it's supposed to last a good 10 months. So that's quite long. But I wouldn't imagine using this without the backlight, because I work in a environment which doesn't have much lighting around me. So I would definitely be using the backlight. So what I'm going to do now is just try to get a little bit closer to the mic and record the sounds. This just gives you some rough idea of how it sounds. So there we go. Yeah, it's I mean, I like the key travel. It's not too loud, fairly quiet. Yeah, I like it. It's comfortable, and it's a mini keyboard. So like I said, for people who need a number pad, who are using a lot of numbers, spreadsheets, I don't know, anything else that you need the number pad for, you should go for the full Logi MX Master. But for me, this is a space saver. People do talk about how portable this is and how they can take it in their backpack. I'm not sure. I wouldn't be carrying a keyboard with me, but why not if you really want to. So there are little feet here. So this is a 8-degree riser that gives you a little more angle to type. I think it has only one stop, so it goes up all the way to the top, and it gives you a little more angle to type. So looks good. Now I'll just get into the light effects. So there's got to be function, and I press the light keys. Hold on guys while I try to figure out how to use this. Okay, I got this figured out. So I've paired the keyboard with my iPad, and now I can show you some light effects. At the same time, I also had to dim my background a little bit. I had to turn down the lights a little bit so that you can get to see the lights on the keyboard. So you can see that it kind of turns on when you bring your hands close to the keyboard. It's got a ambient light sensor, and it also has some kind of sensors to sense when your hands are just on the keyboard. So I didn't touch anything. It kind of turns on, and it also turns off when you're not using it, so that conserves battery. So I guess that's a good feature, but it could get annoying if you're working in the dark a lot and you kind of have to type something, and until you get your hands over here, you're not going to see where the keys are. So it's okay. I mean, I don't type in the dark. There's always some low light, so that's fine with me. The keys themselves are like very satisfying. I did type a little bit while I paused the video, and I was trying to set this up. It's very satisfying. I'm good with that. Now the price is a different question, but the experience is pretty good. I'll talk about the price and whether it's really worth it in the end. So let's park that for a while. The build is solid. I mean, it's very solid. I like the build. It doesn't feel flimsy. It feels very, very premium. And the key travel and the typing experience is again very nice. If you are somebody who types a lot of text, if you're an author, if you type websites, I don't know, content, whatever, if you're doing a lot of text typing, I think it's a no-brainer. The price can be set aside if you're that kind of a person. But with that said, the price is pretty steep. I mean, at least in India, the retail price today is close to 180 USD. That's pretty steep. Do you really want to spend so much on a keyboard unless you're typing a lot? Think twice about that. Now that apart, let me just come back to the features. So it has a few brightness levels, so I can turn down the brightness with this. It has a few steps. Quite good. I mean, this is the brightest setting. I don't think you need a keyboard that's brighter than this. With that said, don't expect too much of effects on this. So unlike some of the gaming keyboards which have wonderful RGB effects, this is not that. This is mostly for productivity, and if you don't want to be distracted by too much of the light effects, this is great. But you can also set up some of the effects in the Logi options software. It gives you a breathing effect where the lights kind of dim and kind of breathe, and there's also some kind of waves and a couple of patterns. But all said and done, if you're just somebody who types a lot and who's more interested in creating content, I don't see why I would want to have lighting effects enabled. But there are some very minimal effects available in the Logi options software. I can't demo that today because basically I've paired this with my iPad and that doesn't have the Logi software on that. But otherwise, this is it. Nice keyboard. The key travel is good. The build is good. Battery life very acceptable, 15 days with the backlights on, and close to 10 months if you turn off the backlight. So I would expect maybe a month of use between charges with the lights on and off in between. Quite decent. I wouldn't expect more than that. And this one supports Bluetooth and the Logi Bolt, and this has both the Mac keys as well as the Windows keys, so it's kind of a universal keyboard you can use across devices. And something more interesting is it can switch across 3 devices. If you've used Logi keyboards earlier, you know that you can pair these to 3 different devices and you can just switch between them with just this button. So that's a very handy feature. It has some of the usual shortcuts, the volume, mute button, and I think this is the assistant, the voice assistant. Otherwise, very satisfactory mini keyboard. So if you can accept the price, and if you really do type a lot, I think I would say this is worth it. Otherwise, I think there are definitely good options available at a much or a fraction of this price, which are also mechanical. So check it out and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you in the next video.